Learning Hilchos Melochim Perek Vav Halacha Zayin. The Rambam says, "Kishitzon al iyel tofso." When you besiege a city to conquer it, ein makiven oisem abu choiso. You do not besiege it from four sides. El misholish ruchos, only from three sides. So the Peirush says, you need the fourth side open. If one wants to flee, and anyone else who wants to get out of there. Shenema says by Midyon, Rome 31:7, Vayitzbu al Midyon kashativ Hashem es Moshe, and they besieged Midyon in the fashion that was commanded to Moshe. And B'Ashmur Lomdu. We learned from Kabbalah, we have it as a tradition, Shekain Tzivo, that he was commanded not to do it from four sides, but only from three sides. The Smag and the Radvaz, and we will always cite the Sifri and Matas on this posuk. The Radvaz and the Rambam, and they were talking about those cities that are not from the seven nations, like Midyon, and that's Vidyayu Torah, because otherwise people fight much stronger when they know there's no way to flee. The Rambam doesn't count in the Mina Mitzvahs. The Rambam is of the opinion that you should count it, and he gives a reason because it teaches us to act with compassion even with our enemies during war. And furthermore, when we give them a way to flee, they will not fight us, and it saves us from being heard as well. Esther explains that the Rambam is of the opinion it's a mitzvah. He doesn't count it because it's part of the mitzvahs of Rishus that he already counted in Sefer mitzvahs. He explains that you don't do portions of a mitzvah by themselves, and not like the Rambam that did count them as a mitzvah. Rambam and the Chinuch say that this law is only by a war of choice. The Chinuch infers from Megillas Esther. You learn from Midyon for all generations. And the questions of Midyon was the Mechamis Mitzvah, that we were commanded to take the revenge of Bnei Yisrael from the Midyonim. That even by Mechamis Mitzvah, this is the rule. So how can it be that the Ramban, right, this as well, it doesn't differentiate. So it would seem that even by a Mechamis Mitzvah, this applies. Not like the Ravaz, it says by the seven nations you would do it from all sides, because by Melchema of choice. Hilchos Chinuch argues, according to the reasoning that the mitzvah is to teach us how to act with compassion even with our enemies, we can't say that in seven nations we have to act with compassion, because we're commanded in Dvarim 20:16 that do not leave anyone alive. You cannot have compassion, and this compassion is only by choice. But according to the reasoning, so that they will not stand strongly against us because they know they're going to be destroyed, that applies even by a Mechamis Mitzvah. Hilchos Chinuch continues, but even though there are reasons for the mitzvah, you don't learn from them the law that we shouldn't, any law that we have not actually received from our rabbis, from our teachers, and who knows why there's a reason for a mitzvah, because everyone has permission to lecture and to receive reward, but it doesn't prove that that's the Halacha, and it concludes that it takes effect even by Mechamis Mitzvah, because the Rambam does not differentiate between them, and you have to leave an opening for them to escape. And then he points out that the Rambam didn't make a differentiation between a war of commandment or a war of permission, because you don't learn from Midyon that was a special unique war against, according to that which God commanded us. And as a proof he brings that even though a war of commandment, of mitzvah, you do not leave women and children alive, they did leave women and children alive. So we see that it's not a regular type of milchemes mitzvah, and therefore it's a special, unique, one-time situation. The Meshech Chochmah in Parashas Matos clarifies the Rambam, that is a mitzvah to call out the peace, so there's a mitzvah to leave them a place to save themselves. But the Rambam's the opinion, it's not a mitzvah, and it's only from the laws that apply to wars. If you'll encompass them from all four sides, they know they'll fight till their very end because of their feeling of despair. They will sometimes that causes them to come to victory. Therefore, it's not counted as a mitzvah. According to Meshech Chochmah, but the reason is to have compassion is a mitzvah, but if it's only a good advice, it's not a mitzvah. Hadvaya Yeshua cites Yerushalmi. Yeshua sent 3 letters. One, that they want to make peace. Secondly, those who want to leave should leave. And third, those who should wage war should wage war. And he questions, and if after even besieging them, during war, we leave them fleeing, why do you have to send them a letter before they went into Israel? They can leave. Even at the time of war, they can leave. It must be like the Rambam, that by Melochim mitzvah, you do it from all 4 sides, and therefore he says, if you want to leave, you better leave now, because you won't be able to. And first, in the language of the Rambam, it's only talking about this law by the war of choice, when it says Kishitzoam Alila Toifso, when you want to conquer a city, not because it's yours, something outside of the area that says Yisrael. And therefore it must be that it's to conquer, and it's a war of choice. Besides, Rabbeinu Yomi Azrachi says, therefore Rashi establishes that the war of permission, like in the Sifri, to grab it, and not to conquer it. And by Melochim mitzvah, we have to conquer it, not just to grab it. Therefore, the Rambam, the words of to grab it, it teaches us that we're talking only by a mitzvah of choice where you leave it open, like the Ritva, the Ramban, and the Chinuch.